Hey guys, this is MageSight, and this is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video. So it's Sunday, the Spider Tournament for the Fusion, and this is a great time to show off this cool Spider team I've got. So we'll run it on auto and show you guys what it does. Then I'll go through the team, and I even got a bonus. I've got another team I'll show you. You've all seen this. But look at the kind of damage you get from Artak. Now look at that, 28 seconds. Spider 20, it's not bad. I've seen some much faster teams at about 10 and 11 seconds. But still, if you're doing a tournament and you've got a limited amount of time, that's a quick one, especially while we have 2x super raids. So let's go through the team a little bit and give you guys an idea of how it works. It works the same way a lot of high-end teams do. As you know, Artak, Spider God, does a lot of damage with his HP burn activation and really help any Spider team. And then any max HP champions. Newt is a good one. From the Fusion, I think last month's Fusion, the one before Emic, I believe. And he's awesome because he has the triple enemy max HP attack. So, Cold Heart with Heart Seeker for enemy max HP, Kaimar for reset. I'm working on getting this team to where we don't even need the Kaimar, to where we kill the spider before the spiderlings attack. But we're not there yet. We're working on it though. I'm going to show you this team in our manual so you can see kind of how it works. So obviously Cold Heart here, just enemy max HP, get your tick there. One Artak, the first one, we're going to have put on the HP burns. Now if you're running an Artak team, generally you have to wait for it to go to turn 2 so then he can activate those burns. The one way around that is use 2 Artaks. Let's use Newt doing the triple hit, enemy max HP, and then second Artak, activate those burns right there. Then we'll have Kaimar reset. Obviously, when you get into harder versions of Spider, the reset's more important. Then on here, you can use you can do it again. Boom, he's dead. So that's nice because you get it a little. I have ran this team all the way up to Spider 25 on normal and got it. Hard's a little different mechanics. I'm working on a team there. So Newt, I feel like him and one Artak is necessary to work the team this way. There are other teams that do it a different way that you can do. Looking at some high-end players, just using one Artak, they generally have something like Newt or Acresia, enemy max HP powerhouses. You'll see a lot of teams use 2 or 3 Cold Hearts. She's pretty obtainable as a rare, though I know people that haven't got her for years and at a time. But generally, most people can get lucky enough to get at least one Cold Heart because she's a rare. Obviously, Kaimar is a very rare pull, and a second Artak isn't easy either. So I'm going to show you a different team I've been working on that works pretty close to the same way right now. But the hope is later, this team will work just as fast or faster. So we go to this team I have, and Newt is necessary. That's just the way it is. One Artak to do the team this way is necessary. But I'm going to go ahead and show you this team, which has 2 Artaks and a different burner. Because the way we were just doing it now, Artak set the burns, second Artak activated them. Another way to do it is another champ sets the burns and both Artaks activate them. The downfall of that, depending on who you have as your burn champ, is there won't be any more burns up, meaning the ability of Artak to deal damage when somebody with an HP burn attacks doesn't happen because there's no burns left. Akoth is a pretty good champion to use here if you want to try this type of team, or as a replacement for an Artak if you only have one. He puts the burns up, then your Artak gets rid of them. He has a much better chance of getting burns on spiders, so he doesn't even need booked because of his the way his A1 works. We will go into there real quick and show you. So if you look at his skill here, attacks all enemies, only has a 20% chance HP burn debuff for 2 turns. But the debuff chance increases 20% for each alive enemy. So on turn 1, with the spiders, you're going to have several spiders out there. It's going to be 100% chance, right? So we'll show this team off just to give you guys an idea of how it works. And then I'm going to show you a more like budget-friendly team for 1 Artak and all that. So we're using Renegade because Kymar is hard to get, obviously. She's another Void Rare, but she's much more obtainable than a Kymar. Your next choice after her would be a Painkeeper, but they're both Void Rares, and she's better because she has the 2-turn cooldown reduction. Obviously, another option here for high-end teams would be Kymar, and then obviously Yumiko is a good resetter. So for the first turn, we'll just have her do whatever. I speed tuned this team, but not with her, so she's going faster than it should be. Use his A2. 2 HP burns on everybody, right? First Artak activates 1. You get the damage, just like you normally do. Newt goes ahead and hits. Second Artak, you can go ahead and hit the HP burn again. Now, this is where this team is slightly slower than my other team. Because when the spiders attack on my other team, it'll kill the spider pretty much. But on this team, it won't. But this team has more potential, possibly, for spider hard, from people I've talked to that use 2 Artaks in hard. So we're going to be working on that team. I'm not done yet. And as soon as I crack the code for spider hard with this type of team, with 2 Artaks, I will post a video on it. Let's use our reset. It's not as good as Kymar's, obviously, sadly. But we did get the reset off, which gives us the ability to go ahead and throw a burnout. And activate it. Doesn't do much damage because there wasn't a bunch of burns on spiderlings. We'll have him throw a burnout. Chances are Newt will finish this off anyway. And if he doesn't, we can activate a burn. Well, he can't because of Kymar, but we'll activate a burn here in a minute. There we go. And then that does it. So that's a much slower team. As you can see, it's about 2 minutes. But it's the thought of, it's the same kind of concept. The faster you can get it, the faster you can work on it. You can speed tune everybody, get everybody the gear they need. So, I have one more team to show off for you guys real quick. So, Newt was a fusion. So if you've been playing a while, you're in mid-game like me, you probably had the resources, you probably got them. But if you missed them, there are different teams you can use. There are a bunch of teams, a lot of teams with 2 cold hearts built. But I like this team because most of these champions are pretty obtainable unless you miss the fusion on him. But most of them are pretty obtainable, and they don't require a lot of gear. The majority of your gear will be on your enemy max GP champions like Newt. One Kymar, if he's the burner, he needs accuracy. If he's the activator, he doesn't. So in this case, we built them both, but this Artak right here doesn't need any accuracy because he's going to activate them. But what we'll do is we'll take off one Artak, we'll leave Renegade, leave Newt, and leave one Artak. So you have a login champion here, a fusion, a void rare, which should have been pretty easy to get, hopefully. We'll have our burner, and then what we want to put in the last slot is another HP champion. You have other options you can play with, and I will be doing more videos on me working on this team, trying to get it better, trying to get into hard. So we will go ahead and we will throw in our cold heart for enemy accuracy cheat. We're going to give this a try. I can kind of show you how this team will work. A Koth. You could also use Mordecai. He also does a 2 HP burns for 2 turns. So that's nice too. Does about the same. A Koth is normal Doom Tower champion. I think he's your second one. So he's obtainable if you didn't pull a Mordecai. Mordecai will work too. So your cooldown champion, hit, whatever. She's obviously replaceable with Kymar, Yumiko, other cooldown champions that I can't think of right now. There's probably a couple you could use. You set your burns on. You have her hit them with Heartseeker, you get your max HP, and then you go ahead and have Kymar or Artak do the blasts and get them down. Have Newt hit them, and then there's still a burn. So as long as there's a burn on some of these guys, you will get that damage from Artak, which sometimes will actually make it faster. He's got a burn left, and there's a couple burns here. It's enough to kill him. So you see that even without the second Artak and without the Kymar, still did pretty good. It's a much slower time. I think on auto, we could probably get that a little faster. But it's less consistent, but it's much more attainable champions. So if you got a hold of Newt, and you got a hold of Artak, and you know Artak's good in Spider, but you're not sure, you don't have a speed team yet, you could do something like this even if you don't have a Kymar or a Yumeko. Renegade will work, as you saw, for the Artak at least. If you don't have, another Artak for a burn or a crazy burn champion like Theodore or something like that, hey, Akoth is in the Doom Tower. Mordecai is an epic that hopefully you pulled. Either one will do the job, and she's pretty obtainable. If you don't have her because you've gotten really unlucky with your void pulls, Armiger is a good example. He takes a lot more stats, but he's enemy max HP. If you got really lucky and you're got some really good Legos, another good champion here would be Acretia. Acretia could even take Newt's place, kind of. I think Newt's the best for the job because of 3 hits, but Acretia will do 2. And then you also have, besides Acretia, you have like Septimus. He's not as good, but you can run the team like that too. And as you see, it still hit it in about 13 turns. This is important too because I don't know if it will continue, but there's been a trend of a lot of turn attack tournaments now where it's not just about your speed, it's about how many turns you get. So if you can do 12, 13 turns, that's a lot of points in those. So for this team that I just showed you, where you're going to be using the more obtainable champions, let's look at what we do for the AI real quick. So obviously here, you just want him to use Blessed Bash as much as possible. This team, he will not have it on second turn, but it's still there. We want her to not use this first. We want her to open with her A1 because she goes a little faster. Then we want her to use this second, and that should do it there. Cold Heart, we want her to use Heartseeker. If she lives the second turn, we can have her use it again. Actually, we'll do that. Artak 1, Dogs of War, we want them to activate those HP burns. Here, we want them to activate those HP burns. So let's see how this team works. On auto, we saw it was pretty close to have turns. So let's see how fast we can get it on speed. She does her little attack, no big D. Does all that. He hits. We get that massive damage from the activation. Spiders are hitting Cold Heart and taking some damage. He didn't have that back up, so he didn't use it. And uses that again, but there was no burns on him. There's a little RNG in that, depending on how many spiders are up. But it's still going to work on auto. It's just going to take a lot longer. You can probably mess with the AI a little bit. I probably made a mistake in there, in the AI. But either way, once it goes around to, yeah, see, it did finally die. So that was a much more turns there and 52 seconds. But as you can see, it will kill the spider consistently, this more obtainable team, but it won't be as consistent on the speed and the turns. But that could just be me not getting the AI set up right. Or there may be a little RNG set up in there. So that's something you can look at. This team, if you've been playing 6 months to a year and you got the Newt Fusion and you were there for the login of Artak, bam, you can grab these 2 Void rares. You've obviously pulled some Void Shards. Maybe you got a lot of rares. And now you have a place for him. And you can grab a cost from Doom Tower or replace him with Mordecai. And you have a team that can at least get you a sub-minute time. For the mid-game area, for me, I feel like that's about good. Now, obviously, when you're late game, you're building much faster teams, or you're building solo or duo teams to get food to, and if you're in game, you're building god tier 10, 11 second teams. I wanted to showcase to you guys was the fact that some of the stuff you can do with double Artak. We will show you one more time the original team. And then as you get better champions, like if you get lucky and get a Kama or a Yumiko, or you get an Acacia. If I had an Acacia, she'd be right here, guys. And this team would probably work even faster. This is just crazy. And from what I've seen, I'm not done with it yet, guys. I am not. From what I've seen, from people I've talked to that have the double Artak team, which isn't super common, that have other really good champions, this does a lot of work in hard as well. I talked to a guy that runs a double Artak team in hard, and he can do hard 10 in like 25 seconds or something crazy. And it's about the same way where you kill it before too many turns. I mean, look at that. 19 seconds, 12 turns. That, to me, for where I'm at in the game, great time, great speed, great turns, really cool team. I want to shout out to clanmate, Zeph, who helped me realize what I could do with a second Artak, because I didn't know. It's like, okay, Artak's good in Spider, but what's the second one going to be good for? It's not an arena champ, so we don't want to +1 them. He goes, hey, double Artak and Spider will do you even better. So, all right, there you go, guys. I wanted to show off the team. I showed you guys another version of the team that hopefully, I'm not done working on it, we will get it. And hopefully I'll be able to show you all that in a couple weeks in hard, doing some work. And we were able to show you a more obtainable version of the team. And remember, guys, even if you miss Newt or anything like that, if you got some cold hearts, you can make a speed team with Spider. There's all kinds of speed teams out there. But this is a good one to work on if you got these two good champs. But that's all I have for today, guys. And thanks for watching. Please leave a comment if you have a better idea for this, or if let me know what your Spider 10 speed team is and what other good champions might be good replacements. And if you liked the video and you liked the team, hit the like button for me. And thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you in the next video.